Yeah, really excited, guys, to have a chat here with Awakn Life Sciences on not only the company itself, brand spanking new listing on the NEO Exchange here in Toronto, as I mentioned, as of yesterday. We're going to talk a little bit about the overall sector as well, which I'm kind of looking forward to. Anthony Tennyson, CEO, joining us on the show for the first time. It's great to have you, Anthony. Congratulations, obviously, off the top here for the listing as of tomorrow. Or as of yesterday, I should say, a brand new listing here on the NEO.
Yeah, listen, thank you very much. It's an absolute pleasure here to be speaking to you and to get a chance to speak to your audience after what was a really, really important day for us, for the company, for the team, but really most importantly for the people, the individuals, the families and the communities who are suffering from addiction that we're aiming to help by bringing forward psychedelic research, psychedelic drugs and therapy development to better help those people suffering from addiction.
Yeah, as I said, I want to get into the company, but let's just have a kind of broader discussion here to start things off on the overall sector itself. It's an ever-growing sector as far as the amount of participants. Give me your thoughts here on where we stand as far as you said, the important research that is not only continuing to happen, but what in your mind needs to happen to kind of bring this more to the forefront?
So, yeah, there's a lot of companies active in this space, but it's only just the beginning. It is like mental health and addiction is such a significant unmet medical need that we're really just at the beginning of a revolution and a paradigm shift in the treatment of both those significant unmet mental needs, or medical needs, I should say. And I think what people need to do is they need to change really how they view the delivery for treatment of mental health and addiction services. Typically speaking, you put companies in one bucket or another. You put them in the biotech bucket or you put them in the healthcare bucket. If you're in the biotech bucket, you're making compounds. If you're in the healthcare bucket, you're delivering services. And that's typically speaking, that's the psychiatry model and the psychology model. And those models just simply are not effective, as always effective as they could and perhaps should be for treating mental health and addiction. And what's wonderful and the significant potential that psychedelics have is they can change that paradigm, but they only will work if you deliver four things at the same time. It's the compound, it's the therapy delivered by a qualified therapist in an environment that is specifically designed to improve the probability of success. And that's why you need to start viewing, or investors, I recommend, need to view this industry as a combination of biotech and clinics, or as we like to say, development and delivery.
And it's an important point, and you know, that kind of gives us an easy transition into the company itself. So when we're talking about Awakn, where does the company fit in your mind in this space?
So I almost neatly set myself up for this particular answer with my last answer. We do two things, right? And it's real simple. We do development and delivery of psychedelic drugs and therapies to better treat addiction. And the reason that we're focused on addiction is it's one of the biggest unmet medical needs of modern times. By our calculations, between 15 and 20% of the US, UK, EU and Canadian adult population suffer from either a substance addiction, like alcohol, or a behavioral addiction, like gambling, at any one time. And there is just a massive, massive unmet medical need. Only a small proportion of those people suffering actually seek and secure treatment. And even for those that do seek and secure treatment, the success outcomes are fairly weak. For example, alcohol use disorder that affects 5% of the global population, it has a 70% relapse rate after 12 months. That's a 70% failure rate after 12 months. As far as I'm concerned, that's just not good enough. And so what we're looking to do is to bring psychedelic research, psychedelic drug, and psychedelic therapy development forward to solve that problem.
And let's talk a little bit about then, you know, the differences here when it comes to that research. What have you found to this point when you compare directly the results from psychedelic research versus, you know, traditional treatments?
That's a great question. So there's an emerging body of academic research evidence that suggests and will suggest that psychedelic-assisted psychotherapy, so that's the combination of compound and therapy together, is more effective at treating alcohol use, addiction in general, but alcohol use disorder in particular. Our team, before they joined us, they ran the world's only trial for MDMA-assisted psychotherapy for alcohol use disorder. As I mentioned before, alcohol use disorder, 5% of the global population, typically speaking, 70% relapse. Early indications out of that clinical trial, 20% relapse. So that is a paradigm shift. So what we're doing is we're bringing that research forward from phase 2A into phase 2B. And that's with MDMA. Similarly, another psychedelic compound, ketamine, there's another clinical trial that one of our team ran before they joined us that's due to be published in the coming weeks. And that was for ketamine-assisted psychotherapy. And again, that will show that ketamine-assisted psychotherapy was more effective than the current treatments available. And again, we're bringing that research forward. We're actually going to commercialize that in our clinics as we open them across the UK and the EU in the coming years.
Now, you mentioned two separate approaches there for two separate problems. As far as the company is concerned, are there plans for expansion outside of those two specific topics that you mentioned going forward, as far as exploring other treatments down the road?
Absolutely. So we do, like I said, we do two things. We do development and delivery. Within development, we've got a near-term goal to focus on ketamine for alcohol use disorder, medium-term goal to focus on MDMA for alcohol use disorder, and a long-term goal to develop our own compounds to better treat a range of addictions, the outcomes for which have the most harm for society at present. And that's alcohol addiction, opioid addiction, tobacco addiction, and gambling addiction. And that's what we're doing in our development business. In our delivery business, we'll be delivering everything that we develop. We'll be delivering that in a chain of clinics that we'll own and operate across the UK and the EU. Ultimate goal is to have 20 clinics across the UK and the EU by the end of 2024. But we'll also look to solve problems in the North American market by providing licensed access to our IP and to our people to addiction treatment practitioners in the US, because there's a significant market available beyond the UK and the EU.
Anthony Tennyson, CEO of Awakn Life Sciences, with us today. Anthony, there's still this stigma, for lack of a better word, around this sector as a whole. What is it going to take in your mind to get people to shift the way they look at psychedelic medicines?
I think they might want to look around their neighborhood, their close friends, their family. People are suffering from mental health and from addiction. Certainly coming out of the current pandemic that we've all been through, mental health and addiction issues are becoming worse. There has not been a significant innovation in the treatment of mental health for a number of years. And I dare say there hasn't been an innovation in addiction treatment for even longer. That is resulting in individuals, their families, and their communities suffering in a way that they don't need to and that they shouldn't have to. And it is time to change. There is a significant body of scientific and academic research evidence that proves now that psychedelics and psychedelic-assisted psychotherapy are better at treating mental health issues than the current treatments. And there is an emerging body of evidence that shows psychedelics are better at treating addiction than current treatments. And I think it's beholden upon us as an industry and regulators and politicians to really, embrace this and deliver the change that is required, because all that's happening is individuals, families, and communities are not being treated with the most effective treatments. And that's just not good enough.
Brand new listing on the NEO Exchange here in Toronto as of yesterday. AWKN, the ticker, guys. Go check it out. Awakn Life Sciences. It's an important topic and a very interesting one at that. Anthony Tennyson, CEO, we appreciate your time today and look forward to an update.
Thank you very much. It was an absolute pleasure. Take care.
Have a great day. There you go, guys. Look at Awakn Life Sciences, brand new listing, as we said, on the NEO as of yesterday, guys.